Nou, dat is precies het punt. Hè? Dus maar de eerste is de vraag, ben je besmettelijk als je gevaccineerd bent? Dat is de cruciale vraag, want je hebt natuurlijk weinig aan zo'n certificaat als je dan nog steeds een ander kan besmetten.
The idea is to take a new way of building vaccines that could let us develop in less than a year a novel vaccine. They're called DNA RNA vaccines, and so we'll fund a few projects to build specific vaccines, but not only will we get that, we'll prove out that these platforms can work, we'll understand the regulatory issues, and it gives us a chance of being able to respond in time when the next epidemic hits.
I thought I would bring that perspective to the topic today, is the issue of pandemic preparedness. And if there's one message that I want to leave with you today based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. And I hope by the end of my relatively short presentation, you will understand why history, the history of the last 32 years that I've been the director of NIAID, will tell the next administration that there's no doubt in anyone's mind that they will be faced with the challenges that their predecessors were faced with.
It began in healthy-looking pigs, months, perhaps years ago. A new coronavirus spread silently within herds. Gradually, farmers started getting sick. Infected people got a respiratory illness with symptoms ranging from mild flu-like signs to severe pneumonia. The sickest required intensive care. Many died.
I think it's disappointing that this has become politicized. I think we should try to get to the bottom of where the COVID virus came from. There's a lot of evidence now that it came from the lab in China. This is important because we don't want this to happen again. Unfortunately, Dr. Fauci has resisted this investigation and has denied that they funded research in China that might have caused this disease. But the evidence is mounting that there's been a cover-up. The evidence is mounting that this disease did originate in a laboratory. Two big pieces of information. Number one, the wet markets where they sell these exotic animals in Wuhan and in parts of China, they tested 80,000 animals, and they didn't find any animals that were positive for COVID. So they didn't find an animal host for this. It looks like it just showed up one day in humans. That argues for this coming from a lab and not evolving and coming from animals. The other large piece of evidence is they looked at thousands of blood samples from people in China in 2019 to see if any of them had antibodies to COVID already. If this came naturally, usually it comes slowly before it comes quickly, and you'll find in the very early stages some sporadic cases of people who had COVID in 2019. Well, they looked through, I believe, 9,000 samples, and they found nobody with COVID. This argues very strongly for this disease having come from the lab as well. When we've questioned Dr. Fauci on this, though, he says, oh, we weren't doing that kind of research there, and we didn't fund it. Well, it turns out that the NIH, which Dr. Fauci is a big part of, did fund research in Wuhan and continues to send money over there. Your money is going to Wuhan to fund research. In this research, they take an unknown virus from a bat cave and they combine it with another virus that can cause pandemics, and then they try to find out whether or not the new virus they create in the lab could cause illness. Well, lo and behold, they have found that it does cause illness. And Dr. Fauci still won't admit that this kind of research was gain of function, meaning the virus gained the function or gained lethality. The virus gained in dangerousness when they combine these viruses.
So the conspiracies we believe for all these years are really true?